So I'm with manager Phil Parkinson. It's finished tonight here at J Davidson Stadium. Altrincham 0, Notts County 2. Phil, you've made five changes, I should say, for tonight's game, and you've gone toe-to-toe with a very good Notts County side.
Yeah, we certainly have. Nothing but pride is the way I feel for the lads tonight, the way they acquitted themselves against, for me, the best footballing team in the league by a country mile, a team that we try to emulate. I really love everything they do, the way they conduct themselves, the way they try and play, the chances they create, the way they retain possession. They're just a joy to watch, and I felt we did ever so well against them tonight.
The work rate was excellent. I'm going to come on to it straight away though. Very controversial goal for Macaulay Langstaff's 40th of the season. How did you view that?
Yeah, well, as I said, this is a great team you're playing against, and one of the things we said to the lads is we need everything to go for us, and unfortunately the referee decisions didn't tonight. I'm never one to come out and lambaste the referee. Many managers would after that performance, and when I say performance I mean key decisions for us. So to allow a quick free kick in that scenario where nobody gets that anymore, it's within the laws of the game to allow that. And I've spoke to the ref, he knows he's going to look at it back and he's going to learn from it, and fair play to him, that's what we all try and do. But it's cost us dearly tonight, that moment. It should never have stood, it should never have been allowed to have been taken like that, whether they asked for it or not. Nobody gets that luxury. Within the context of this game, on the edge of the box as well, infuriating, really frustrating. And then the handball, again within the law of the game, it's his hand, but has he moved it? Is it in an unnatural position? Has he tried? The lad's 2 yards away from him, 5 yards max, and he's blasted at his hand in a downward position right at the start of the second half. Everybody in the stadium knows it's not a penalty within the context of the game, but unfortunately it hasn't gone for us. And then what can you do apart from go and speak to the ref, and hopefully he'll go away and improve from it? But it doesn't help us, it hurts us, and it just leaves you with a real bitter taste in your mouth.
Well, I would say, Phil, just coming back to it, you know, the lads' heads didn't go down. They worked for the full 90, and Linney up front, first half, phenomenal. I know he had a great chance with the penalty, but his overall hold-up play was excellent, wasn't it?
Well, Regan scored, he's missed a penalty, he's been an absolute menace to their backline all first half. The game plan was working brilliantly, bar obviously 2 poor decisions that went against us. And listen, they've dominated the game, absolutely done what we want to do, but we had a game plan, we knew they would, we know we're going toe-to-toe with the best in the division at what they do, and our game plan almost worked. The chances we created I felt were better than theirs for all the territory they had. I felt we really unpicked them with their high line. We got in quite a few times, and it was part of the strategy that we were using going into the game. I felt we dealt with the majority of their set pieces really well. We studied them. They're fantastic at the short corner. They're really creative, and our lads had to adapt. They're normally given a man-to-man assignment. They weren't. They were given an area, and they did it ever so well. So there's so many things. I was delighted with the players on tonight, but I'm just ever so disappointed that things that we can't control have gone against us.
You've had to make a couple of changes as well. I know Marriott getting a yellow card. You're obviously thinking ahead to Saturday as well, but you know, losing him alongside Lundstrom, I call them the glue in the middle of the park, and I think they are, aren't they, Phil?
Yeah, absolutely. They're massive players for us, aren't they? They're the cornerstone of everything you try and build. If you get that middle right, and look, the back lads have been super. Everyone's done brilliant today, but you're absolutely right to bring out Isaac. There was no way I was going to risk him. Just one mistake, and especially the way he plays, the intensity that he gets after people, you're taking a big part of his game away if you're telling him not to do that. And there was no way I was going to risk such an important player for us going into Saturday, which is a shame that you've got to think like that, but the league have put the fixture in where they have, and that's their prerogative, and we just had to tackle what was in front of us.
What a great challenge as well for your lads, you know, over 2,000 here tonight, you know, good support, good following from Notts County as well, but playing against the likes of Rodriguez, Langstaff, very, very good players, and some of the young lads there have learnt a lot tonight from that game.
Well, for me, especially when you've got a young group like this, we know we're developing players. There's no losses, there's learning, and that's the message I left with the players in terms of look what you've come up against, look at the intensity that they press, look at the composure they show on the ball, look at the decisions that they make. They make very few mistakes, and when they make a mistake, the intensity of what they get back, the fitness levels at another level. But you look at their team and you look at ours, you're looking at teams light years apart in terms of being able to recruit league personnel. So you'd look at Josh Lundstrom on there, you wouldn't have said he would look at a place in their team. Josh was playing League One last year. The majority of their squad has played league football, bar one or two. And you can really tell. But listen, Luke's a brilliant manager. You can see the way he's got them drilled. I think they get so many things right, and they're definitely ahead of where they were last season. And it's just such a shame that Wrexham have had such a good season and took them away. It feels a bit like the Liverpool City season, doesn't it, where they were just light years ahead of everyone else. So it'd be interesting to see how it finishes.
And some other positives as well, getting players back as well. Sinclair looked lively as well during the game.
Yeah, he did, and that game will have done our lads the world of good in terms of fitness levels. Will go through the roof for those who haven't been playing, and that's why we didn't play Miles, because we felt it would have been a step too far to throw him into a game after Saturday returning from injury. Jordan with a knock on his foot, James Jones was a little bit under the weather, so there'll be a number of selection decisions now as well, because they've staked a claim for Saturday, so it won't be easy, and especially for those lads who haven't played. They'll know the other lads have put a big shift in and everybody's desperate to play on Saturday.
And I think the fans saw that tonight, Phil. They were out behind your side throughout the 90 minutes, got right behind you. They could see that work rate and they could see that commitment from all your players, including the boys that come off the bench tonight.
Absolutely, but I think the lads executed the game plan so well, and I think when they can do that, it gives the fans some belief. So you look at where the second goal went in, they could have absolutely just dominated the play for the next 25 minutes. We went man for man, and last 10 minutes we've hit the crossbar. If that goes in, who knows what happens, but it wasn't our day today. We didn't get the rub of the green, the roll of the dice didn't go for us, and they're the bits that we've got to make it go for us. We can't allow referee decisions to cost us points, but when you're playing the best, it's so hard to come back from those parts. And I think what our lads have done ever so well, they've come behind. I think they've got one of the highest statistics in the division for coming behind, or the most amount of points, and you can see why, because they go to the end and they give everything, and that's the bare minimum any fan wants to see. And when they can see that and they can see you trying to do the right things, they get behind you. And
your home record's been good, Phil. It's been pretty good, hasn't it, this season?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, looking at what we've been through, the part-time to full-time changes, the January raids, as I call it now, the fact that we were able to bounce back from that just shows how far this club's come and the direction it's going in.
And I guess overall you're delighted where you are at this moment in time. As a
Absolutely. I mean, to be in the position we are with, we've got 8 games to go now. You're always you're trying to look up rather than look down, but you're always keeping a little eye over your shoulder, and it's nice to have that bit of breathing space going into these types of games. But look, we beat Southend on Saturday. Brilliant. I can't believe I'm saying that. Altrincham have beat Southend. It's amazing. So some of the results we've had this season have been phenomenal, and it's we've just got to keep growing and got to keep moving forward.
Just looking ahead to Saturday's game, massive game, FA Trophy semi-final against FC Halifax. We both know them well, don't we? You made 5 changes tonight, thinking ahead as well to that game. What's your thoughts going into that? It's a massive game for Altrincham Football Club, isn't it? It
is, and they've had a good win tonight as well, haven't they? So they'll have a lot of confidence and momentum coming into the game. We've played Notts County, so it's a different prospect, a different opponent. Everyone will be able to see how tough it was for us tonight, but we had a really good win Saturday. We've had a real tough game tonight, so everybody's tools will be sharp and going into a massive game, the biggest game in the last 32 years. So it's the last time since we've had this opportunity to get to Wembley. It doesn't get bigger than this. It's one of them moments. We've got to live it, we've got to own it, and we've got to take it. And it's going to be a great day. And
just on that, you've touched on it there, but what's your message to the fans who've been brilliant this season? You're going to get a full house on, hopefully, on Saturday. What's your message to the fans and the players before Saturday's game?
Be our 13th man, get behind us, get through the gate. I want to see everyone in the red and white screaming, singing the names, doing the brilliant chants. And as I've said, the biggest game for 32 years. If you can't come support the lads and really get behind them, no matter what happens, if we go 1 down, 2 down, you can make the difference. But I tell you what, if we're winning, they keep us going as well. So it's so important, and every football club needs the fans. We need you now more than ever. Please get down, support us. Let me hear you singing all the way through. We'll be shouting, we'll be running, we'll be tackling, we'll be trying to win that game to get everybody to Wembley. But it won't be easy, it'll be very tough. Halifax will be thinking exactly the same thing. So come and make it our day.
Great, thanks for your time, Phil.
Thank you.